Local unionized paramedics are trying a unique strategy to gain a hefty salary increase and bring them on par with city police and firefighters.
3 billboards have been set up around the city comparing the hourly wages of first responders and asking the public to contact city councilors on their behalf. Jonathan Wilson reports.
These billboards recently popped up around Thunder Bay. They show the pay gap between a first responder with 8 years' experience, with city police officers making nearly $54 per hour, firefighters making $50, and paramedics making $42.79. Unifor Local 39 Chair Kyle Stamler says they don't begrudge the other service members for what they earn, but with many newly hired paramedics leaving the profession for better wages elsewhere, the union felt they had to up the ante.
So the question is, why can't we retain staff? Why do we have such a hard time keeping them? And the reality is displayed on those billboards. Our members tell us that they can go and do substantially similar work for substantially more compensation.
The billboards encourage the public to ask city councilors about why paramedics make around 20% less than the other first responders. Stamler has already spoken to 3 city councilors and says none of them made any assurances to him to try to bring about wage parity.
Well, we're hoping to spark a high-level conversation between councilors and senior city administration. It's council that directs administration on how to spend funds, taxpayer funds. And we're hoping that city councilors, maybe they're not aware of this wage discrepancy either. We're hoping that maybe they will talk to senior administration and say, hey, we need to allocate more funding here for paramedics because we're losing medics.
Obviously, the union is trying to bargain publicly, I would say, a little bit there. They feel they should have parity with other groups, I'm assuming. Parity is not something that I support.
City Budget Chair Mark Bentz says he doesn't think the billboards will make the paramedic salaries a primary item for discussion by council, and he points out that nowhere else in the province pays paramedics the same as police or firefighters. Stamler insists they face the same dangers and traumatic situations as other first responders.
Same scene, same call. So if it's a working fire, there's an ambulance on scene. If it's a stabbing or a shooting, there's an ambulance on scene. The dangers don't go away because we're in a different vehicle.
And typically, paramedics are not paid on par with police officers. When you compare the work, police work is a much more dangerous job. And I think that's probably why you see the difference in pay.
The latest contract for local paramedics with Superior North EMS expired at the end of March. Soon-to-be retired City Manager Norm Gale has issued a statement saying the parties are commencing bargaining and the city is committed to negotiating fair wage increases for our paramedics. We value and respect paramedics for the work that they do. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.